What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Kiana, and I'm back with another review. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 10, episode 12. Be sure to check us out tonight for the Whether You Like It or Not panel hosted by me. It'll be at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, so make sure that y'all go ahead and tune in later today. Make sure y'all hype, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, all of that. Shout out to all the new subscribers. I truly appreciate you joining the family. Make sure y'all get down in the comments and engage. Let me know that you're new here and all of those good things. So I am reporting live from the outside of my room yet again. Y'all look at the bookshelf. We got some slippers there, a leash there. It's the puppy, y'all. Okay, he be getting a hold of all kind of stuff. He just be putting stuff up anywhere where he can't reach out. His bowls used to be up there too at one point. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this review because it picks up where it left off last week with them saying that Angel had gotten evicted. So in last week's episode, she was saying that she doesn't know what happened, but I guess that was the power of editing, because on this episode when it continued, she didn't say that. She said that she thought that she was sure that she let the Airbnb host know when they were actually going to leave, which is why she is upset with the whole confusion of it all, because she would never put her family through that type of situation. So as she's explaining this to the ladies, you have a side conversation going on where Jassy is asking Wendy and Giselle what's going on. Wendy's talking about she got evicted, and Giselle said, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Wendy, you know that she did not get evicted. Like, that was annoying to me. So then that prompts the ladies to, in their confessionals, to talk about the definition of eviction. Regardless of the definition of eviction, y'all know that it's not used correctly in this situation. She wasn't evicted. She was temporarily staying somewhere. It wasn't like she signed a long-term lease or whatever the case may be. Baby, this is an Airbnb. She was not renting the space out in, the capacity in which y'all are trying to make it seem. But anyway, regardless of whatever, Ashley then questions Angel. Well, it's being said that you moved here so you can join the group. And in Angel's confessional, she was like, move here to be cool with Ashley, Giselle, and Wendy. Well, yes. However, with this situation, Ashley, nobody asked you for your opinion or anything of it, because the way the judgment that was on Ashley's face irritated me to no end. Because what is it to you if she did do that? Then what? Because Wendy doesn't live local to the area whatsoever. Robin didn't live local to the area either. So all this that you're trying to give Angel, I'm going to need you to shut the fuck up. If you want to question anybody in their proximity to Potomac, you might want to step to your good sis Wendy. Because again, Wendy lives the furthest out of everyone. Shut the fuck up, girl. So we see the men having a conversation. Eddie is saying that him and Wendy are getting ready to celebrate 15 years of marriage and that she wants a new ring. She wants a new ring, and she said the ring that she had was stolen, but she's still sporting it. I mean, whatever. So we see Sharice is speaking to, what's her name? Stacy. And yeah, I did notice, and I wanted to say something about Sharice's choice of clothing last week. Like, girl, you in this teddy top. No, ma'am. Like, you don't even give Sex Kitten to even be wearing this. And yes, most importantly, this is a family event. So where are you getting at when it comes down to this? Okay. We then see Stacy introducing Timo to the Osefos. And 20 seconds within the introduction, he's out the door. He only spent 32 minutes at the event. But it was weird to me the way that Stacy was speaking to them. Because she was like, I have expressed how much I appreciate y'all, which is, I guess, why he wanted to meet them. Again, it kind of does seem like a bit of damage control or something that Stacy is doing when it comes down to them, because we know that she told Tia that Timo is not okay with the whole bring Eddie out situation. But it seems like she's trying to convince him that they're good people or whatever. Like, I mean, and that's what she got to do, especially if she's really cool with Wendy. Okay, but When they found out that he was leaving, she said, "We want to continue the friendship." Girl, talk to me normal. Because what is all this shit that you doing? Like, when you start talking to me formally as a friend, it creeps me out. And it makes me feel like there's something going on here. Like, girl, speak to me plain. Don't we want to continue the friendship? Girl, because what is that? Now I'm questioning what's going on. Y'all, I don't really like the way my hair is shaped today. I really like my hair on the last video because it was stretched. I wet my hair last night and then I put this curl defining cream in it that I got for free at Pilates. They was giving out, what is it? Miss Jackie's, Auntie Jackie. They was giving out free products at Pilates 2 weeks ago. So I was like, yeah, let me get that curl defining, baby. So that's what this is. But I'm trying to keep the curls as is. So then the older it gets, I can stretch it out and it can give more of a fuller look. So I'm trying to be intentional with just leaving it as it is. But the urge in me just want to stretch it out. But I'm going to leave it alone. Anyway, for some reason, Temu leaving... yeah, it really had the girls pressed. And I'm like, why the fuck do y'all even care? Because at the end of the day, y'all wasn't engaging with the man anyway. Let him fucking leave. So, I got here in my notes, Jassie's niece. Because if y'all watch Gabor, shout out to Andrew Gabor. He was talking about Jassie's niece and her ponytail. And I hadn't paid attention to it the last episode. So I really didn't know what he was talking about. But I seen it and I was like, it do look like she just picked up any old girl. Like, why is her hair not done? Why is she not giving camera ready? But I don't know at the same time because her auntie's units have been terrible this season. We're not going to get too much into that. Jackson, Sharice's son, arrives. And she was like, look, Ashley, Jackson's here. Flashback to 2 days prior. We see Giselle, Ashley, and Sharice having dinner. And Ashley was like, you know, at your crab royal, remember that one? Who got, remember Sharice got real drunk. And there was some other chaotic mess that had went on at that crab royal. But that night, I forgot I don't know if that was last season or season before last. Nonetheless, Ashley had got real drunk. Jackson had to take her home. He came in to use the bathroom, and according to her, he held her hand and pulled her closer, and they shared a kiss. What? Sharice was playing it a little too cool for me, because, bitch, no. No, the way you and your husband move real slimy, sneaky, and predatory-like, absolutely not. You will not be in any type of communications, relations, or anything of that sort with my son. Like, what are you doing? So then she says, we needed each other's comfort in that moment. Ashley, what the fuck are you talking about? Because this is getting weird. And then she took it even further and said, if we didn't end it at the kiss, would you be mad? Sharice, you should have had that blow up energy that you had for Karen in Mexico right then and there at the table with Ashley, because I don't trust no bitch like that. Especially when she being associated with a nigga like Michael Darby. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That was weird to me. That was so weird to me. I'm with the people when they say that Ashley is just like her husband. Yeah, she is. And that's the reason why she always made excuses for him and stuff. Because you're a creep just like him. Granted, he's 27, Ashley's 37. But regardless of whatever, this is weird. This is weird. Anytime you're around somebody when they were a child and then you gain interest in them as an adult, it's weird. It will never be acceptable to me at all. Fuck. So Angel is upset. She pulls Tia to the side and she's like, I don't like the fact that the way I'm moving is being questioned. Like, yeah, And so Giselle interrupts the conversation. Like, I understand, you're having an important conversation, but come on, let's play. And Angel was like, girl, you just accused me of being evicted. And now you want me to go play giddy up with y'all? Like, no. At this point, she's questioning how the Colorado trip is going to go. So, they all play this game or whatever. And after they play the game, they're serving food. I feel like some of this is out of order, but I'm not sure. Stacy is making Kim a plate of potato salad. And Kim was looking at the plate. She said, a Donald Trump plate. And Stacy said, no, this is a picture of the American flag. Cam said, it's the same thing. Girl. Kim is hilarious to me. Shout out to little Cameron. But Giselle was talking to Kiana. Her and Gray confirmed that she did move back in. I'm with Giselle. Girl, you better listen to the aunties. The aunties will tell you done lost your power. Don't expect that ring. Because at this point, girl, you just wasted time. She did. She did. Your little statement of moving out. Good luck. We ain't heard nothing in the blogs or nothing saying that they engaged. So good luck, Kay. Then we see Ashley talking to Jackson. Oh God, she's talking to him, and then Sharice comes in, like, trying to snoop around in the conversation. And she was like, Jackson, I did tell your mom that we shared a little smooch. Why are you telling him this? And then you're saying it loudly to where everybody can hear you. Wendy is like, wait, what's going on? This is your friend's son. Like, what? None of y'all better ever try to come for my kids. Hello? Yeah, because this is weird. This is out of order, and I don't think that it's cute. I think it's weird that Ashley wanted everybody to know that. She did want everybody to know that. She already shared it with Sharice, and then she's saying it loudly in public. She's a fucking weirdo. A part of me is feeling like Stacy's potato salad wasn't as bad as everybody is leading it on to be. I don't know, because it looked pretty good. I don't know. I feel like if anything, we needed to pay attention to that motherfucking chicken battered catfish that Ashley fried up, because that shit looks nasty. I think that's what y'all should have been judging. Y'all put all y'all emphasis on catfish. Yeah, let's judge that then. Tia and her family having a house meeting because the kids disrespectful. They don't got no chores, so they trying to put stuff in order. Listen, them kids too damn old at this point not to have chores set in place. I started having chores. Shit, my mom taught me how to wash dishes in kindergarten. Because I remember she always said, if you hear the squeak after you wash it, you hear the squeak, that means it's clean. I always remembered that. So yes, that was in kindergarten. But then once we had some daycare issues, or babysitting issues, let me say that. In second grade, our babysitter, my brother broke his arm on her watch, and my mom was like, no. Okay? So at that point, she was like, you know what? Y'all stay here at the house by yourself. And at that point, that's when she was like, all right, this how you wash clothes. This is how you do this, and that. Because, when we get home, we had to do our homework. We had to clean up the house. Then we can go outside and play. So, yeah, by the age of 7, I was staying by myself and we was doing chores, period. Why is your oldest kids 16 and 14 and y'all just now orchestrating this for them? The twins is 10, ain't they? Baby, y'all past due. I'm going to need y'all to listen. Tia, you ain't got no maid no more. I'm going to need you to go ahead and get them kids in order. She talking about they be eating chips and stuff and leave the wrappers on the floor. Excuse me? Absolutely not. And RHOP don't give me enforcer. And that's a problem. But anyway, poor Nathaniel, he be cleaning up everything. It look like my boy, he got to do all the work and the girls get to do nothing. But anyway, she said that her half-sister is coming into town. She said that when she has 2 half-siblings, and she really didn't stunt them like that because they was love children. So she was team mama up until her dad passed. And when her dad passed, and that's when they got closer. And so she's learning more about her sister and all of that. I'm like, okay, but listen, Tia, maybe that's that English shit. Black Americans, we don't say half. We don't say that. We acknowledge that we got different daddies or different mamas, but we don't say half. That's white people shit. Your sister coming to town. And then you can tell us, yeah, we got different dads, but that's my sister. You've been here long enough to know this shit. I don't even know how long she been here, but girl, she been here long enough. Hell, her daughter's 16. Quick scene with Stacy and Timo. They working out or whatever. Child, she trying to get a bigger butt. He talking about some, I hope not. No, Stacy needs to work out. She actually needs to build muscle so she can have more of a frame. Because she is so frail. She doesn't have any hips. She doesn't have any... But she's just like a long, like skinny rectangle, like just no shape. I think she really could benefit from not even trying to be shady, but she could benefit from gaining some muscle and gaining a little weight. That'll help her, her her shape out. So I feel like even though you playing, girl, you might need to go see a trainer for real and see about that. Nonetheless, they live separately, but I guess they've been coming together and all of that stuff. I will say that though Timo is very reserved around someone else or like, you know, the group, he does seem to really be into Stacy. He's smiling. He's, you know, doing little jokes here and there and all of that stuff. She talking about some Ashley's billions ain't the only thing that's been on my countertop. Girl, you ain't throwing that little ass back. Do anybody laugh at the stuff that they say? I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, girl, I don't see y'all getting down and dirty, okay? I just see y'all having very vanilla sex, but nonetheless, child, they happy. Arabella is happy and moving on. Quick scene with Angel and Bobby. They're orchestrating stuff for the ladies to visit Colorado. And they're going to experience the wonderful outdoors experience that she introduced to us when she first got on the show. Now, I forgot who that was. That might have been Gabor who said that. But somebody was like, they feel like it's a cheap, like that was like a cop-out for them to go out to Colorado. And for me, I don't feel that way. One, because we already had their international trip earlier in the season. And then two, the domestic trip being that it's for Angel, like Angel going home, because they felt like she was already going home. So it's like that was like an easy way out. I don't think so. I think that's a way for them to actually meet them where she is, which is now obviously she's going to be filming outside of Colorado, but she also is a hostess to this outdoor experience. So I think that it's perfect for her to introduce the ladies to her world, introduce the ladies to her business, showcase her business on a national platform. I think that this is very ideal for this situation. I think it's very perfect. So I don't think that it's an easy way out, a cop out, a lazy move, or anything of that sort on production's end, on Angel's end, or any of that. But they were talking about doing a cook-off for the ladies and things, just doing something really nice for them. But she said that she's not going to tolerate being disrespected under her roof. Baby, you've been disrespected enough in this group to understand that they will still try you in your home. So I remember them saying, like in their preview or something, that they were like an hour out away from her house. Gone. Yeah, because you bitches ain't gonna try it with me. Go ahead and take that hour trip out back to where y'all came from, because y'all not gonna try it in my house. The renovations for the Osefos residence is now wrapped. It took 2 months, and at this point they've completed the entire first floor. It actually looks really nice. It does. So that's good to know. We know at least the first floor has been completed prior to the allegations coming out, okay? So they paid the construction off and all of that, as far as we know. Next is the pool, and I guess after the pool will be the basement. Well, baby, I hope y'all didn't start on that pool, because yeah. Now, Wendy is saying that she's in a good space. I said, yeah, but that's because you're spending up all that money, child. But she said she's in a good space. At this point, she wants to call her dad. She calls her dad, and if you ask me, this conversation was very underwhelming. For the buildup that we had, I thought that she was going to pour her heart out, say all that she needed to say to her dad. She was talking about, you know, making notes and writing a letter and all of this. And then you finally get him on the line and it's nothing. Her dad is very dismissive, like we usually hear about. You know, a lot of foreign parents are not so emotional when it comes down to certain things. And the dad is like, because she's like, you know, I haven't seen you. I didn't see you in December. All that. I miss you, blah, blah, blah. And he's saying stuff like, don't cry over spilled milk. I don't want to dwell on the past. Hopefully we'll figure something out. Okay. So if you really cared, if you really miss your daughter the way that you say that you do, then you would have made it happen when she was in Nigeria for an entire month. You weren't that sick to where you couldn't see your daughter. So, girl, yes, she says she's let go of the notion of what a daddy-daughter relationship is supposed to look like. She's lowered the expectations, blah, blah, blah. Okay, girl. he should have hopped on the opportunity to see you in December, because we don't know the next time you be in Nigeria, girl. Belle is on the phone with somebody from the National Brain Tumor Society. She said that this is basically helping her continue on with her dad's legacy and all this stuff, because she still has no idea what's going on with his will. And we see one of the twins, I can't remember which one it was a flashback of one of the twins in Grace, and they trying to seek some type of legal advice from the daughter. She like, oh, girl, I've been in law school for 0 days. Like, give me a break. I actually like to see the twins with their natural curls. That was really cute. We used to see them like with their hair straightened. But regardless of whatever, I was confused because they showed a flashback of another GNA fundraiser that was 2 months ago. Tia was in attendance. Why didn't we see that? Why didn't we see that play out on camera? Especially with the way that it went down last year. I feel like that was a really good episode when they got kicked out and they was trying to make it to Karen and Giselle's event. That's when Jassy had closed the door on Ashley. That's when I knew I liked Jassy. But I felt like she didn't keep that same energy. I don't know. So she lost me with the whole my man thing. I need that Jassy to come back. Anywho, yeah, Giselle ain't talking about shit, y'all. Kiana, yeah, girl. When it comes down to Greg, she's moved in. Okay, cool. This man, like, I don't like, don't try to embarrass me. Like, don't try to embarrass me. That's the quickest way to piss me off. That's the quickest way for me not to fuck with you. So he was like, oh, I got you a gift. He disguised it in a moving box. It's a bouquet of red roses and then a big ass bag from the jewelry place that he was at. As she's unraveling, do y'all know this was a fucking picture frame? Bitch, a fucking picture frame? Like, you could have gave this to me off camera. Like, I don't like that, because it feels like you know exactly what she wants. Because even when she seen it, the bag, she was like, oh my gosh, is this a ring? And then you have her go through all of that for a fucking picture frame, talking about this is our first. Bitch, first of all, y'all already lived together before. So don't try to act like this is some big deal, because it's not. Been there, done that. And this is going to be the same fucking thing. Like, oh, girl. Anyway, I don't know what to tell her, because at the end of the day, her condo is going to be hers. If, okay, word to Greg, if they get married, then he wants to keep the house in his name. And that they want to move within 5 years. Is this the house that was built? Like, we need some clarity. If they don't ask that at the reunion, I'm going to be mad. Scene with Tia and her sister, it was a really nice scene. Like she said, she was always reluctant to getting closer to her siblings because of her dad having children on her mom. So of course she took to her mother's side, but she said that her dad always wanted them to be close, but she wasn't having that. But once he passed, then she had to reach out to her sister because they had to arrange his funeral. And in the conversation, she told her sister, know that you are loved. And that got both of them really emotional at the time. And it made her sister realize, like, okay, maybe Tia is cool and she wants to come around or whatever. I do like the fact that they are starting to build a relationship. It's better late than never. I always feel like the kid that's coming into a situation like that, they have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't necessarily have to have a relationship with the mom to have a relationship with the kid. I mean, my dad never had kids on my mom, but he had a child on his girlfriend on my brother's mom. And I mean, now I'm giving out my family business, but regardless of whatever, outside of my situation, I just feel like it's not anything of the kids' control. And I would never want, I know for sure, my siblings to feel like they're being left out or anything of the sort, because they didn't ask to be here. So it is good to know that they are close and, they don't have to go through parents to build a relationship. So Wendy has her mom and her sister over. And the first thing I said is wigs, the wigs. Ivy's wig is literally sitting on the top of her motherfucking head. Like she got a little ponytail in the back that she just said fucking and put a wig on top of. What's going on? Like, I don't understand that. You got people like Portia who would get on here with Lauren looking like she just got drugged through the mud. Y'all literally have go naked hair together, and Lauren just now, to this point, just now, I think I seen it this year on her page, that she's just now looking put together out of all the years that Housewives has been on TV, or that Portia has been on Housewives. Make that shit make sense. And then you got Wendy, who came in with, some struggly wigs her first season. Second season was a little rocky too, but she improved. But from then on, her hair was looking on point. How do you not have your sister and your mother at the least, if you can't control what they wear, at least make sure that you get them some bundles or something, a nice wig. Because this shit right here pissed me off. Ivy and her costume jewelry pissed me off. They're showing a tour of, the new renovations and things. And, Wendy mama always got something smart to say. So she's giving her opinions. They have black toilet tissue. She worried about UTIs. You got bigger fish to fry. And you know exactly what I'm pointing at. Skin. Yeah. I think you need to be more focused on that and the harm that you're causing with that. So she tells them, I reached out to Dad and he seemed very warm and apologetic and optimistic. Hold on, Wendy, because were we listening to the same conversation? Maybe we weren't. Because I didn't feel like your dad was apologetic. And he wasn't really giving that warm either. He wasn't giving as cold as he could be, but he wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I beat myself up every moment that I think about not seeing y'all when y'all was here in December. Like, he was not giving that. He was like, don't cry over spilled milk. We gonna figure something out. Girl. And then when you come to him, he ain't seen you in 20 years. You come to him, he talking about he's sick. He couldn't even make a way for you. Girl, please. I don't know where the warmness was. Okay, he might have gave a tinge of optimistic, but I don't know where the warming and apologetic parts came in. So, Mama Sue, she giving all kind of attitude and shit because she ain't here for it. He a sperm donor, blah, blah, blah. Ivy is like, I don't want you to get your hopes up because he's notorious for, letdown. So, girl, don't get too excited when it come down to this. And so the mama is going in, he a sperm donor, he ain't this, he ain't that. And so Wendy is like, hold on, wait. Cruz, take your sister upstairs, like, y'all go upstairs. And Wendy is like, her mama is like, no, basically trying to act like it was a problem that she trying to get her kids to go upstairs. And Wendy was like, no, I'm going to protect my kids. So, yeah, I need them to go upstairs. And so Wendy's mom gets up and she was like, not like you haven't done worse. What does that mean? Granted, they have been doing worse. Little does she know. They've been scamming allegedly. However, if she doesn't want to have this conversation in front of her kids, she has every right to not do that. For you to make it seem like there's an issue in what Wendy was doing, I find that as an issue. But we already know how Wendy's mom gets down. We've seen a lot of foreign parents be like this, specifically Africans, but I'm not just saying that this is not exclusively just to them. But regardless of whatever, I feel like Wendy's mom always... The puppy is going in on his new toy. Y'all want to see him? Look at him real quick. Hold on. Lucky. Anyway, yeah, he was distracting me with that damn toy. But I'd rather him play with it than be whining in my video and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I just felt like Wendy's mom is always doing the most. And I don't like it. I don't like parents who act like they're never truly satisfied. They always find issue in things. Like, I don't like stuff like that. And I feel like Wendy has done so much for her mother, and her mother just always gives entitled. Mama Sue would have had to get the fuck out my house before all of that even transpired. Because she's sitting here doing the most. You don't point your finger at me. And then Ivy is co-signing, yeah, the presentation that you did and pointing your finger in her face was out of line. I'm sorry. When did Wendy point her finger at her mother's face? Now, she pointed in her direction, yes, but she wasn't doing all of that. Like, let's not put 20 on 10. At the end of the day, if I don't want to have a certain conversation in front of my kids, I have every right, especially if it's in my house. Like, say how you feel, but hold the fuck up. Wait till my kids get out of here. So then for her to go as far as, I work 4 jobs and I sent you through school. Listen, I understand where her mom is coming from. She feeling some type of way. She's still raw about the dad and, you know, feeling some type of way about Wendy wanting to have this relationship with him. She feels like she's done all the work. She has done all the work. Obviously, I understand that. But regardless, if Wendy wants to have a relationship with her dad, then she's grown. She's grown. That's out of your control. That is out of your control. And just the disrespect that continued, like, it was just kind of crazy. And so she's crying. The mom is crying and all of this. And Wendy was like, oh, girl, like, I'm not even about to sit here and play with you. Like, at this point, you want a moment. You making it about you. And then the mom is getting upset because Wendy is calling her out on her shit. And so Eddie is trying to come in and, like, calm the conversation down because it's getting a little loud. Her mom called her an idiot. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like name calling. Like, regardless if it's a parent, if it's in a relationship, whatever. Don't call me out of my name. Like, don't do that. That's really disrespectful. So she called her an idiot. And Wendy was like, she always do this. And Ivy, you always sticking up for her. She said that her sister is always on her side. And I said the same thing too. I'm like, the sister is just co-signing this bullshit. And I didn't like that at all. So Mama Sue then goes and tells Wendy to shut the fuck up. Listen, I feel like as growing up in an African-American household and us having a lot of the same backgrounds and, you know, living the same experiences, I don't feel comfortable with, you know, the aggressiveness that a lot of us grew up with and, like, the way that kids are spoken to, because I hear it now as an adult. Like, I might hear somebody talking to their kids in an extremely aggressive manner, and I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Like, I couldn't imagine telling my niece or my nephews to shut the fuck up. And if somebody talked to them in that way in front of me, I would correct that. Because don't talk to them like that. So I feel like, yeah, we, you know, cuss kids out, you know, sometimes within reason and stuff. But I feel like the way that you talk to children, it needs to be more mindfulness behind it. And I don't like the way that her mom was talking to her, whether Wendy is an adult or not. That this still is a mother-daughter dynamic, parent and child dynamic, and I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't talk to my kid like that as an adult if they were an adult either. So, like, yeah, I don't like that. And me and my cousins, we've had this conversation before about, you know, certain things that our parents done while we were growing up and the things that we would change, you know, as a lot of my cousins are mothers and fathers now and stuff like that. There are certain things that we took from our childhood that we implement, and also things that we wouldn't. So, yeah, I just feel, and this is not to paint my family members out to be, you know, villains or vicious or anything like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I feel like a lot of people can relate to what I'm saying. But yeah, I just feel like her mom was out of order. Like, it's okay for you to feel some type of way towards that man, but just like Wendy said, don't take it out on me. Don't take that shit out on me, especially when Wendy is taking care of her mother. Like, girl. And another thing I wanted to add, just kind of to add context to understand Wendy's mom's side. When my parents broke up, there was a time where my dad was not as present as he could have and should have been. And I know my mom held on to that for a while. And she always felt like, I know particularly for me, being the oldest, she felt like I didn't hold my dad's feet to the fire enough and I let him slide with a lot of stuff. And so it is more so was because she's here doing all the work by herself. She's doing all the legwork, taking care of us. She's a single mom. At one point, she was laid off and like all this stuff. And my dad wasn't helping. My mom felt like I was just letting my dad slide with certain things and not saying anything to him. As a kid, there's not much that I wanted to say in the midst of, you know, them going through what they were going through. I think as an adult, now more so me and my dad have conversations and I do hold him accountable. I just felt like it wasn't necessarily my place at that time because Like, this is awkward. I don't want to be in the midst of this. I shouldn't be in the midst of this. And again, I think that's where her mother comes in at, especially with Wendy saying, you won't bash their grandfather in front of them. And then her mom is looking like, why he get to look like a saint when he ain't did shit, he ain't shit, he ain't never gonna be shit. You know, you got your head in the clouds when it comes down to it. He probably gonna let you down. Like, I understand where her mom is coming from. It's the delivery. I understand why she feels that way, but I also feel where Wendy is coming from, it's like, that's y'all's experience. That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with me. I know in my age, I was more like, I didn't want to be in the middle of my parents because I was a teenager. Like, I did not want to be in that position. I know as an adult, it's different, and I feel like Wendy does need to have that conversation with her dad for sure, because his absence needs to be acknowledged and he needs to take accountability for that. But it's just like, if she wants to still have that, you know, relationship with her dad, you can't fault her for that because that's her parent. And if he's open to it, then it just is what it is. Like, it's out of her mom's control. But again, I feel where her mom is coming from, because she's been there. She's, you know, stuck by those kids. She didn't have an option to leave. But the way that she's going about it is very bitter. And Wendy's not obligated to take care of her mama in the capacity as she does. But that's the reason why she's in the situation that she's in now. She's crying and stuff, and she's like, you know what? I'm used to it. It's always 2 against 1, and that's the reason why she yearns for a relationship with her dad, because she always feels like the odd one out when it comes down to her mom and her sister. She told Eddie, I want them to get the fuck out of my house. Girl, you should have told them that directly. They got the hint because they got the fuck on, but you would have heard it from me. Get the fuck out. Y'all got the game fucked up. Beat it, bitches. Period. And you won't be back over here for a while. Shit. Your ashy ass. Bitch, don't talk to me in your wig lifting like that. Don't disrespect me in my motherfucking house. Shit. Ivy and your whack ass wig and that terrible ass jewelry. Shit. Anyway, Team Wendy. I didn't like that scene at all. I don't like these extra ass theatrical ass parents that come on this TV screen and do the fucking most on reality TV. That's why I don't really care for Mama Joyce. I don't care for Wendy's mama. And any other overbearing ass parent that we've seen on TV. I don't like that shit. But anyway, that was the end of the episode, y'all. Let's get down in the comments and talk. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hype it. Check us out tonight for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. We definitely gonna get into this. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.